everybody, and welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be making some beautiful garlic knots with all of these beautiful ingredients. I really hope that you guys make it with me, but if not, I hope that you guys enjoy watching me try to make it. I only made it one time before, but I think I'm good enough to teach. So anyway, let's get into it. The first step is wash your hands. Now that your hands are washed, the first step is preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 205 degrees Celsius. I'm using a Celsius oven, so I like to put it like 200 or like slightly less because I'm always worried about it overcooking and burning. Let's combine 1 cup of flour. You have to use red flour, but I'm using all-purpose flour because I don't have good flour, and all-purpose is a perfect 1-to-1 substitute for red flour. I broke my this thing today, measuring cup, so hopefully it works now. Make sure it's working. Instant yeast, 1 packet, that's 2 1/4 teaspoons. So sugar, we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. Now we're going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. The last item that we're mixing in here is the garlic powder, which I have right here. 1/2 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. Now we have to mix well. I'm going to use a wooden spoon to mix it together. You can use a whisk or a spoon or a fork or whatever, okay? Okay, we have mixed the flour and all the other ones together. So now we're going to add olive oil and warm water. We need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And we're going to get some warm water. At one side of things, it's 3/4 of a cup of warm water at 105 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the other side of things is 180 milliliters of warm water at 40 to 46 degrees Celsius. I got the warm water. I'm going to add it in. Now we're going to mix it around with a wooden spoon. And we're just going to mix it until they're combined. Now our ingredients are well combined. Like this maybe. So now we're going to add some more flour. We're going to add 1 more cup of flour. That's 125 grams. Okay. Now we're going to mix it around. Stir this mixture until it becomes a dough. Until it starts to pull away from the sides of the bowl and it becomes like an elastic ball. You can add more flour to your dough if there is not enough flour, if it's, it's still supposed to be like tacky, like a little bit sticky. I'm going to add a little bit more flour because the dough is too sticky. Okay, let me check to see if it's tacky. It's definitely tacky. Definitely tacky, but it's manageable. So I think this dough is fine. We're not kneading it. I'm just playing with it a little bit, making sure that it's okay. So in a clean bowl, you're going to drizzle some olive oil. I already have a bowl with a little bit of olive oil in it. And you're going to use a pastry brush or this thing to put it around the sides of the bowl. Make sure you get it really good on the sides of the bowl. It's kind of like a generous amount of olive oil. You want to make sure that there's enough because we're going to put our dough inside of it. So make sure you put enough olive oil on the side. dough in the bowl, and then when you have the dough in the bowl, roll it around and get enough olive oil all over it. Now that you have the dough covered in oil, put some plastic wrap over the bowl. For plastic wrap, I don't have cling film, so I'm going to use a plastic cap. This is the plastic cap that I use for all of my dough that I make, all of my breads. Don't worry, it's clean. But plastic caps are a good idea if you don't like cling film. So I like to use a plastic cap and I pull it tightly around the top. And I set it down on the bottom so that way the top is still pulled down. And there you go. But I'm going to set it on my stove. And make sure you put this in a warm environment so that way it can rise properly. Now that our dough is in a warm environment, we have to let it rise for 30 minutes until it's doubled in size. Welcome back to baking. I hope you got your dough. So fluffy. It's so fluffy! See? And that's the plastic cap method. Now that we have our fluffy dough, it says use your hands to gently deflate it. Transfer it to a lightly floured surface. Roll it into a log 15 inches long and cut into 9 pieces. However, we don't do that over here. You're gonna get a tray with parchment paper on it. With some flour. We're just gonna take a piece. Basically, what you do is I'm gonna put some flour on our hand. Okay? And this is how you make a garlic knot. Now you made a tiny log. You're gonna roll it. 2 fingers, roll it over your finger like that, and then open your finger up and put it in the little loop. Okay, like that. I don't know if you can see. Look at that beauty. That's a garlic knot. And now you just put it on the baking sheet. And then you do that like 1,000 more times. That's pretty, okay? That's a good one. I don't think it matters how far you space them away. What matters is that they're not on top of each other. Of course. So just make sure that they're spaced away from each other. Not like, for example, I put them like this. A tiny, like a sample size when you're eating food or baking stuff. It's a lot better because one, it's guilt-free. You're not forced to eat the entire thing. I want to be able to eat the whole thing and feel like, no, that was good, you know, and that's it. Not like, oh, I can't finish it, oh, I'll wait for you know. And they're a lot cuter as well, in my opinion, when they're like small little baked desserts. If you need another tutorial on how to make the garlic knots, make a little log like this, you know, not too small and not too long, because, yeah. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna make 2 fingers, grab it like this, wrap it around, and put this side underneath, and put it through the hole, and ta-da! Let's say that if you're making the garlic knot and you cannot make the knot, and let's say you made it too long, you made it too short. First of all, you're gonna have to smash it and make it again. Make it like, make it long enough to wrap around your fingers, let's say, while still holding like a little piece at the end. And let's say you mess up on putting the whole dough through the loop. So let's say you do this, okay, beautiful, put it in like that. and you got it stuck like this, like I don't know if like this, and you're like, I can't pull it tight because it's gonna rip off, and every time I'm pulling it, it's ripping off. What you do? Okay, you got this huge hole here. Okay, you just take your fingers out and just let it drop, and it does it by itself, basically. See how beautiful that is. Cute. It doesn't have to be beautiful. Also, really, all you're grabbing when you're grabbing dough is you're grabbing just like a pinch of dough. You're not grabbing like, you know, a lot. It's like really a small amount, just a pinch, and you're rolling it. Because even though it's a small, like little pinch of dough, when you roll it out, it's gonna look a lot longer. See, like. Ooh, wow! Sheesh! That looks good! Sheesh! Okay. See how fluffy this one is? I don't know if you can see. Look how fluffy. Yeah. Now we have to let it sit and let the other ones become just as fluffy. Only 5 minutes for just letting it sit. So make sure you space them out after the fluffy because you don't want them sticking together, but they're not going to anyway. Just space them out if you could. Now to make the butter. It says to cook it in a saucepan. You can if you want to. I'm gonna cook it in a microwave because I don't want to wash a saucepan. Judge me. We're gonna put some butter in a bowl. 4 tablespoons of butter. 56 grams of butter. So let's make 56 grams of butter. Now, let's melt it. Now we have melted our beautiful butter. We're gonna need minced garlic. You do 3 of them. I did 4. Do what you want. It's your food. Now we do 1 tablespoon of minced fresh basil. I don't have basil, but I do have basil seasoning. And for me, that's a good enough substitute. I'm just gonna measure it with my heart. Now, we are going to grate some Parmesan. I do not like grating cheese. This is how I'm grating the cheese. I don't know if there's a right way to do it, but this is just the way that works for me. You just basically, for the Parmesan, there's no like set amount, there's no set grams or anything. Just put as much as you like. Now, look how fluffy our garlic knots are. We put them in the oven for 13 minutes. You know, it says on this recipe that you can make the garlic butter while it's in the oven. That probably would have been a good idea, but toothpicks, you stab whatever you're making in the oven, and if it comes out clean, then they're done. If it comes out crumbly, depending on what you're making, then they're not done. But if they come out wet, then obviously they're undercooked. And you need to put them in the oven for a few more minutes. Just keep checking them. And yeah, look. Ooh la la. Yes. The golden goodness. I don't know why I said it like that. The golden goodness of garlic knots. Look how beautiful. Now we're gonna put our butter. Look how thick it is with the cheese. I put so much cheese. It's gonna be good though, I think. Usually what people do with garlic knots is they put it in a bowl and they toss around, and that's how they butter them. But I don't know how to do that, so I'm just gonna do it this way. And you take this thingy and you put it in this thing, and then you put it on these things. Make sure that they're all coated, you know, all, like the whole thing is coated. Now I have to make more butter because I don't have enough butter to put it on all of them. Oh, I'm using unsalted butter. You're supposed to use salted butter. I only have unsalted. But last time I made these, I added salt into the butter, like mix, and it was a little bit too salty, I think. So I'm just gonna try it with just unsalted, just plain, you know. And I can sprinkle some salt if it's not salty enough. We have completed making the garlic knots. I'm gonna try the smallest one. See how it is. Life hack: if you have a hot pan, put it on a wooden cutting board, and it won't burn your countertops. They're very fluffy on the inside, and they're hard on the outside. So when you're baking them, make sure that's how they are. They're not hard on the inside or undercooked on the inside, and they're not overcooked on the outside. Or, I don't know if they can be undercooked on the outside, but yeah. Anyway, they taste like they need some salt, but they're really good. They taste like garlic and bread. I don't know. It's like garlic, basically, garlic knots are garlic bread. They just look like knots. So there you go. You're welcome. That's what they taste like, basically. Oh wait. Am I supposed to do like a dramatic action? Sorry. That's really good. Oh my gosh. You guys need to try this. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoy. I hope that maybe you guys will make some garlic knots one day, or that you could follow this video and make it. I wouldn't highly recommend following this video, but if you like my content and you like my dancing, I would watch this video if I were you and try to make some garlic knots because they're very good. And yeah, thank you so much again for your support. I really appreciate all of you. And check me out next time. Bye.